Hey, 7th grade, this is my YouTube channel. Like and subscribe, tell all your friends. Let's talk about circumference and diameter and radius. Today's lesson is actually about working backwards a little bit. So far we have learned that circumference equals 2 times pi times r, okay? And we know that when things are squished together like that, there's imaginary multiplication dots between all of the terms there. So in some of the problems today, you're going to, instead of being given the radius, let's see if I can change my highlighter. Instead of being given the radius, you're going to be given the circumference, and you're going to have to find the radius. So let me show you what that looks like, because it's actually easier than it looks. So in this problem, I'm told that their circumference is 18.84. So when I'm given something, I always want to ask myself, okay, what am I given and where does it go in my equation for circumference? In this problem, it says circumference is 18.84, find the radius. So in this situation, the radius is unknown. It's a variable, right? So we're not going to fill anything in there because it's unknown. I am, however, given, check it out, the circumference. So I'm going to substitute this 18.84 where the c is in the equation, because c equals 18.84. So in the equation, here's what that looks like. Instead of writing c, I'm now going to write 18.84. And then I know that the rest of this equation is still true because 2 times pi times r equals circumference. So this person got 18.84 by doing 2 times pi times r. So there's a couple of ways that we can solve for the radius, because again, we're trying to figure out what is the radius. And this is very similar to what we were doing before we went on this unexpected break. We have a variable and there are some things happening to that variable. You'll notice, right, that there is multiplication. Let's use a different color. There's multiplication happening here and here. And we know that to get a variable alone, we need to do the opposite operation. So in this situation, we have the variable r, and then it was multiplied by pi, and then multiplied by 2. So we just need to undo multiply by pi, and we need to undo multiply by 2 to get r by itself. So we're going to do our handy dandy thing where we draw a line down the middle of the equal sign, because it helps us remember to keep our equation balanced. So a couple of things that we can do to start us off. That pi sign might be freaking some of you out. Don't freak out. We know that in 7th grade math, we use the number 3.14 instead of that pi symbol. So I'm going to go ahead, instead of writing pi, I'm going to write 3.14 times r. There's a couple of ways that you could do this. You could go ahead and divide both sides by 3.14. Remember, if I do something on one side of the equal sign, where else do I need to do it? I also need to go do that over here. So in this moment, I would open up my calculator. Let's hope that this works for you. I would open up my calculator and I would figure out what 18.84 divided by 3.14 is and go from there. I'm told that it is 6. So I go back over here, and I know that when I type that into my calculator, 18.84 divided by 3.14 was 6. So 6 was the solution to that situation. When I divided by 3.14 on this side, let me use a different color. That means that I got rid of or canceled out the times 3.14. So the only things that are coming down are the 2 times the r. Everyone doing okay so far? We're good. We just canceled out times 3.14 by doing divide by 3.14. I did it on both sides of the equal sign, 6 was the result of the left side, and 2r was the result of dividing by 3.14 on the right side. So then my last step here is I need to divide by 2 on both sides. Why did I do this? This would be the part in class where all of you would be telling me because it's the opposite of multiply by 2. I need to break up this 2 and this r. So to break off times 2, I have to divide by 2 on both sides. This one I don't need a calculator for. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So in this situation, the radius equals 3. All right, so I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to record for myself that radius equals 3. Now, I told you that there was one other way to do this. So I'm going to back it up to right here. Hopefully I did that right. I'm going to back it up and show you one other way that could actually be faster. So I did division twice, but I'm going to show you a little bit of a cheat code because I know you guys are all about cheat codes to make your life a little bit faster. I'm going to bring down 18.84. And instead of dividing, I'm going to go ahead and let me use a different color. I'm all about these colors. I'm going to go ahead and multiply 2 times 3.14, and I'll show you why. Okay, so 2 times 3.14 is going to give me 6.28, and then the times r is going to come down. Check it out. I now only have one number being multiplied by r. So I need to break off 6.28. I need to break it off from the r. How do I break it off from r? I need to divide by 6. My pen is being a little slow today. Divide by 6.28, and you have to do it on both sides of the equal sign. This is the part where you take out your calculator and you want to figure out what is 18.84 divided by 6.28. So let's pull up the calculator and find out. 18.84 divided by 6.28 equals magically 3. So we know that we did this correctly because, check it out, we know the result of 18.84 divided by 6.28 on the left side was 3. And then if I do this on the right side, the 6.28 cancels out the 6.28 because multiplication and division cancel each other out. So over here, the radius or the r drops right down, and check it out. It's the same answer that we got earlier when we found out that 3 is the radius. That is the basic steps for finding the radius if you were given the circumference. I will make a second video that has more examples if you feel like, what? But that is the basics, and I think that a lot of you could go ahead and try just by doing the opposite operations. Your most important part is, okay, what am I given and what am I trying to find? Make sure that you put the thing you are given into the correct place in your equation for circumference.